think I've been putting it off for a bit too long because I was like, oh, how on earth am I going to tackle this thing? Okay, how on earth? So let's talk about it right now. We're talking about what's happened in the news lately. So if you didn't already know, it is now compulsory in the UK for you to wear your mask when you're going into shops, whether you're at the hairdressers, on public transport, not in pubs or restaurants because it's a bit, you can't really put your mask on whilst you're eating, can you? No. But any other places of public spheres, it's mandatory to wear your mask. And all because there is a new variant that is in quotes, supposedly, supposed to be even a lot more harder than the one that we currently have. Now, the thing about this, if I've learned anything, and it's good to have friends who work in sciences and biosciences and telling you that naturally viruses mutate. They mutate. You have lots of different variants of lots of different viruses. And that's what's happened at the moment. And one of the things that has actually got on my nerves is just the narrative that's been done at the moment. And I'm particularly annoyed at the fact that the Transport Secretary has decided, to put restrictions on parts of Africa. Might as well just done the whole of Africa. Why not? Basically, a lot of the southern African countries are now on the red list that you can't fly to. And if you go there, you have to do tests, come back, basically making a no-fly zone. And it's really interesting because it's just like, wait a minute. First of all, scientists discovered this thing, It was discovered. They were told, they were alerted, and apparently they had been alerted about this weeks ago, that there is a possible new variant that has surfaced. But our lovely Transport Secretary decided to go one step further. Oh, yes. He went one step further by then locking off pretty much the southern part of Africa. So we're talking countries are Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini, Zimbabwe, and Namibia have all been put on the red list. Why? Why do they need to be on the red list? And this is the joke. And this is what it was said. It was said that South African scientists sounded the alarm over the variant, which they fear is behind a spike in cases in some regions. Now, here's the crazy part about it. What it seems is that they think that this this variant, is only in Africa. It's only found in Africa. But that's a whole load of lie, because there have been variants over there. There have been mutation of this hold on, let me just get this right. The mutation of this variant in the UK and in Europe. And guess what? None of these people have traveled to Africa whatsoever. They've not traveled to Africa. In the cases that have been found in the UK, none of these people have traveled to Africa whatsoever, where it was firstly, where it was alerted. None of them. So why, Mr. Shapps, are you locking off half of the continent of Africa because of this variant? Whereas in your own country, there are cases being discovered in the UK and in the US. And I'm really, really irritated and annoyed because this is where they're playing politics, right? Politics, it's like, it's hard. Right, I want you to take a listen to this. This is a news
I'm pleased
article.
to say that joining me now.
This was a news article, a news piece from one of the a well-respected doctor. And she was on BBC News. So I'm going to play a little bit for you, just so that you can understand the frustration and the furiousness of what is going on at the moment.
Now live from Abuja is a co-chair of the African Union's Vaccine Delivery Alliance, Dr. Ayowade Alakija. Dr. Alakija, thank you for your time. Do you feel that this was inevitable in some way?
Thank you, Philippa. It was absolutely inevitable. And may I say firstly that had the first SARS-CoV virus, the one that was first identified in China last year, originated in Africa, it is now clear that the world would have locked us away and thrown away the key there would have been no urgency to develop vaccines because it would have been expendable. Africa would have become known as the continent of COVID. What is going on right now is inevitable. It's as a result of the world's failure to vaccinate in an equitable, urgent, and speedy manner. It is as a result of hoarding by high-income countries of the world. And quite frankly, it is unacceptable. These travel bans are based in politics and not in science. It is wrong.
I hear your anger about the immediate reaction and about the lack of action beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's just hope this is a dress rehearsal that we're seeing right now with the Omicron variant and not the main event. The science, we don't know yet. What we can say about COVID, what we can say about this current variant is that the best thing that we know is that we don't know. So this is hopefully a dress rehearsal. But because until everyone is vaccinated, no one is safe. But what exactly is the global playbook on this? What are we planning to do? Are we just planning to act politically, knee-jerk reaction, so that we can satisfy those people within our countries, that we're keeping those, those unvaccinated Africans out? Why are the Africans unvaccinated? It's an outrage because we knew we were going to get here. We knew this is where the hoarding, the lack of IP waivers, the lack of cooperation on sharing tech and sharing know-how. We knew this is a crossroads that it was going to bring us to. It was going to bring us to a variant. It was going to bring us to more dangerous variants. Why are we acting surprised? Why are we locking away Africa when this virus is already on 3 continents? Nobody's locking away Belgium. Nobody's locking away Israel. Why are we locking away Africa? It is wrong. And it is also time that our African leaders stand up and they find their voice. African leadership need to sit up in this moment. Our presidents need to wake up in this moment and realize that this is not business as usual. Their continent is at stake. Our lives are at stake. And we cannot allow the world to do this to us.
Well, I'm telling you that she said it better than I could, and so eloquently. Dr. Alakija there, who was broadcasting from Abuja in Nigeria, and she said it so succinctly. I mean, seriously, how are you going to, if the virus had come from Africa, literally the world would have locked up. But then you're thinking, okay, so you lock off a whole continent, okay? So how are you going to get those resources? How are you going to get this? How are you going to get that? And the thing is, and the truth is, they can't lock off Africa in full because of the natural minerals that are coming from this country, from that continent, that has been shipped over to the rest of the world. You're taking stuff from our home, but yet you are restricting us from the things that we should be having. You're taking, but you're not allowed. You take, but not giving. And then the fact that the Transport Secretary, John Shapps, had to go and then put travel bans on the continent, from parts of the continent. It's just are you mad? Are you actually mad? This is absolutely politics in play. This is people's lives at stake that they're doing this to. And it's so unfair for a country. And she mentioned, and she said it quite rightly, why aren't the other countries being locked down? Why isn't Belgium being locked down? Why aren't the other European countries being locked down or put on the travel ban list? Why is it just Africa? Think about that. Think about that, my brother and my sister. Think about it. Because you can tell there is something more deeper and sinister going on right now. There is something. And listen, we have to wake up to some of the games that these politicians are playing with people's lives, especially when it comes to our continent, especially when it comes to Africa. And she quite rightly said, the presidents, the leaders in the African countries, they are sleeping and they are letting the world get away with daylight robbery, daylight murder, because they are allowing our country, our continent to sink. They are taking away so much stuff. And it just goes to show that the leaders, they are... Oh, I know Roger's gonna love what the fact I'm about to say this, but so the leaders are still slaves to a lot of these other countries, because you're letting other countries come in and buy out your own country. You're letting the West will come in and buy out your own country. And this is the problem now. And a lot of these leaders can't say nothing because of what is going on behind the scenes. The leaders of Africa need to wake the heck up. Wake up to what is happening right now. And for you who is living in the UK and that, wake up to what these politicians are doing, because they are so rightly continually to oppress the nation of Africa. They really, really are. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. You know, like all the other countries that have been detected of these things, we need to put them on lockdown as well. Lock them away. Put them on the red list. But why Africa? Why Africa? The richest continent in the world of natural resources. Why? Why? You know what? I'm going to leave it there. But it has rattled me. And if you want to see the clip, you can go online and literally watch the rest of it, because it's got to stop. It's got to stop. It really, really has to stop. And I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed that these, you know, people in power, people of... Anyways, I'm going to stop there because I might say something that I won't regret and then go viral for the wrong reasons. Oh my goodness me. Anyways, I'm going to keep it moving with some music for you right now.
Thank you for watching the content we're putting out. Listen, make sure that you are liking, subscribing and following us on all our social channels, including patreon.com. Make sure you're finding us on there to support what we do so we can support you. And remember, guys,